emergency on June 22nd, 2026 at 4 p.m. to order. Mary, if you could do the roll call, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Chair Reed,
Here.
Board Member Clark,
Here.
Board Member Giobi,
Here.
Board Member Rich, I'm sorry. Board Member Rich,
Me, here.
Board Member DeBerard,
Here.
Board Member James.
He can't be present today.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can I get a motion for approval of the agenda?
Move approval of the agenda as published.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion for approval of the agenda by Board Member Clark, seconded by Board Member Giobi. Are there any public comments on this motion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Seeing none, the motion passes unanimously. Can I get a motion for approval of the minutes
I don't think they were in, what?
from the last,
You just
not from the last board meeting? Okay. Comments from the public on non-agenda items?
I have no comment.
Seeing none, comments from the board members on non-agenda items, if there are any?
Yes.
Board Member Clark?
Yes, this is a CRA meeting.
Correct.
I was recently appointed to the Stuart Main Street, which works along with the CRA on some projects. And I was, I guess, I was glad that I actually went to that particular meeting and saw the makeup of how their current board membership is working and the things that they're working on. And I'm excited to continue working with the Stuart Main Street.
Any other board member comments on non-agenda items?
No, I would just like to thank Commissioner Clark for taking on that role. It is important.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to move on to our first action item for the award of applications for the Business Improvement Reimbursement Program for fiscal year 2026. Lee?
Resolution number 03-2026 CRA, a resolution of the Board of Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Stuart, Florida, authorizing award to applicants from the Business Improvement Grant Program for fiscal year 2026, providing for an effective date and for other purposes.
Is there a presentation, Jordan, followed?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, sir. Good afternoon, CRA board members, Jordan Pinkston, CRA program manager for the record. The Community Redevelopment Agency's Business Improvement Grant Program is an incentive program designed to encourage visible exterior improvements to existing commercial properties and encourage private investment within the CRA. The program provides a reimbursement grant of up to $10,000 and public funds per property to match private funds to pay for design and completion of property improvements. Funds are appropriated annually by the CRA, and the projects are evaluated based on some criteria, including overall visual impact of the property. The proposed project is part of a larger exterior or interior improvement. The project relates to urban and street and provides pedestrian walkability in a location with high traffic or high visibility, private investment to grant request ratio, and improvements that help preserve historic buildings. And as you can see, the Property Improvement Program grant was launched in 2009 to encourage visible exterior improvements to commercial and residential properties in the CRA. The grant program provided a matching grant of only up to $4,000 per property at that time. Since then, the program was revised in 2016, 2017, and renamed the Business Improvement Reimbursement Grant Program, also known as BIRP, which offers business owners matching grants of up to $10,000 for exterior improvements. And throughout the years, the application requirements have changed to aim to assist property owners to comply with the city's land development code and improve overall property appearances. The program has offered financial relief to local businesses for improvements, including curb stops, resurfacing, signage, paint, windows, fences, benches, roofs, landscaping, and more. To date, the program has awarded 61 businesses, and the CRA's investment of $444,000 leveraged approximately $2 million in private investment, generating a total project value of $2.44 million. The program aims to reduce blight and enhance building facades, positively affecting property values and the area's appeal. And as always, the CRA does public outreach to encourages the businesses to apply for this program every year. The CRA received 6 applications to be considered for funding. One of those applications was ineligible. The improvements proposed will include parking lot resurfacing, impact windows, painting, and facade improvements. And at this time, it's up to the board's discretion if they would like me to do each individual application, or if you'd just like me to go through all of them and vote at the end.
Which one was ineligible? One of these applicants? were
No,
in?
none of the
Okay.
ones that you will see today. It was the Esplanade building. They were not in compliance to their PUD, so they were ineligible.
Okay. Does the board have a preference on how we present it? If it's one at a time, or? And you're talking about for the vote, or?
Yeah, if you
Okay.
wanted to make an individual motion on each application
Lee, how
at
would?
the end or after I present each one.
Just
Voting
present
for them
it-
individually, right?
Yeah, so I think what she's saying is we have what, sorry, 5?
5
Yeah.
total.
5 total applicants. She can do a presentation on each one of them, and you guys can discuss them and vote separately, or you can wait to the end and, you can distinguish them at the end, or vote for all, or deny all.
I'm fine waiting till the end.
Just to make the presentation,
Yep.
please.
Okay. No problem. So our first application is the Avonlea Commerce Center, located at 429 Northeast Baker Road. The applicant is requesting grant assistance to enhance curb appeal and functionality of their property by painting the exterior building and adding wayfinding signs. The total estimated improvement cost will be $31,000. It's important to note that this applicant is a returning applicant has previously received funding in 2023 for pavers, benches, and bike racks, and then in 2025 to replace awnings on the specified buildings. The property has not finished the fiscal 2025 upgrades yet, but they're intending to use the scaffolding for both the awning replacement and the upcoming painting improvements to save on costs. The exterior currently has cracks and requires pressure cleaning, caulking, and painting. Additionally, the buildings do not have distinct addresses, so wayfinding signs and building numbers will be installed to help prevent confusion for the visitors. Eligible improvements proposed by the applicant have a visual, urban, street, and economic impact, and the total estimated improvement cost for this fiscal year will be about $31,000 with a grant match of $10,000. Overall, the applicant will invest $61,397 with a CRA investment of $23,160 through this program. Staff recommends approval. And the next application is the Geary Law Building, located at 27 Southeast Ocean Boulevard. The applicant is requesting grant assistance for improvements to enhance curb appeal and functionality and safety with the paving and restriping of their parking lot. The total estimated improvement cost will be $24,500. The current parking lot is cracking, unbalanced, and needs to be restriped, and the existing conditions are causing trip hazards and cause standing water to puddle in those holes during storms. Planned enhancements encompass milling, tacking for the restoration of damaged sections, installation of new asphalt, restriping of parking spaces, and the replacement of bumpers. Improvements proposed by the applicant have a visual, urban, street, economic, and community impact. The property fronts Ocean Boulevard, so it will serve as a catalyst for redevelopment in that stretch of road. And the total investment improvement cost will be about $24,500 with a grant match of $10,000. Staff does recommend approval of this application as well.
Jordan, just for clarification.
Sure.
The total project cost there, I believe, was $24,500.
Correct.
He is not spending $24,500 in addition to the 10 we're providing.
He spends
Of
up.
that 24,500, we're providing him with 10 of
10.
that.
We will reimburse him 10 of that.
Right,
So he
okay.
does spend that up front.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
The next application is Geiger Downtown LLC, which includes multiple businesses in our historic downtown center, including Riverwalk Cafe, Spritz, Black Marlin, Gypsy Cottage, Girls Downtown, the Gafford, Tootsie's, and Rare Earth Gallery. The applicant is requesting grant assistance for exterior painting to all the businesses and awning replacements to Spritz. The total estimated improvement cost will be about $44,000. The businesses targeted for this proposed improvement have worn facades, and their buildings would benefit from a thorough pressure wash and fresh paint for maintenance. Eligible improvements proposed by the applicant have the visual, urban street, economic, and community impact. The property is in the newly deemed historic downtown district and is highly visible. These improvements enhance the pedestrian experience and harmonize with the vibrant historic context of downtown. The property is also in the center of the CRA Downtown Underground and Seminole Streetscape improvements, making it a catalyst for other downtown businesses to follow suit. The total improvement cost will be about $44,000 with a grant match of $10,000. Staff recommends approval. And then Kaiser Dermatology, located at 301 Southwest Osceola Street. The applicant is seeking grant assistance to boost curb appeal through upgraded landscaping and improvements to the parking lot. Total estimated improvement costs will be about $5,660. Parking lot upgrades will cover pavers, restriping of the parking stalls, new signs, and bumpers. And then the existing landscape features will be restored. The banyan tree over Osceola Street will be trimmed, and a new trellis will be installed for the walkway leading to the property. Proposed improvements provide the visual, economic, and community benefits. The project increases safety, accessibility, visual appeal to downtown by improving the ADA compliance, removing hazards, and upgrading streetscape features, supporting CRA revitalization and economic growth. The total estimated improvement cost will be about $5,660 with a grant match of $2,830. Staff recommends approval. And then last applications, the Owl House Properties located, Owl House Properties includes the Owl House, part of the old Colorado Inn, and Napoli Orthodontics. And the applicant is requesting grant assistance for installing impact windows to the historic Owl House and then making parking lot improvements to Napoli Orthodontics. The total estimated improvement cost will be about $51,925. The Owl House is a historic downtown building and will have 21 windows and 2 doors replaced with hurricane impact versions to enhance its integrity. And the impact glass will provide continuous protection against the severe storms that we have here in Florida. The current parking lot at Napoli Orthodontics is cracking, unbalanced, and needs to be restriped. And so those planned enhancements encompass milling, tacking for restoration, damaged sections, and installation of new asphalt. Also the replacement of the bumpers. So the applicant's proposed improvements will affect the area's appearance, urban environment, and the property is situated right next to the downtown district along Colorado Avenue, which is part of the CRA's ongoing underground and streetscape project. And the total estimated improvement cost will be about $51,925 with a grant match of $10,000. And staff recommends approval. So as you can see, the
Excuse
total.
me, Jordan, he's getting
Sure.
21 windows, storm windows for only $51,000? Wow, that's a good deal, it seems. Plus, he's doing
Want to
stuff.
share that vendor with us?
I'm sure you will. So as you can see, the total grant match amount that qualifies for funding is $42,830 between all the applications. Staff is seeking a motion to approve resolution number 03-2026 CRA authorizing the award amount for each application for the fiscal year 2026 BURP grant cycle.
Do any of the board members have any comments for applicants or staff? Yes, Board Member Giobbe?
I have a question, and it's not in regards really to this, but did you say that the Avalia is still under construction, that project? Is that what I heard in the beginning?
So no, this particular section or business commerce of Avonlea, they applied for the business improvement grant in 2025 as well, and they've held off on installing the awnings, which were approved for last grant cycle, because they wanted to apply for this one for the paint because of the amount that it
Right.
costs, and they wanted to use the same scaffolding. So, yeah, to save on, to not have to pay, whatever the cost, like $5,000 each time for the scaffolding. So no, they have not completed fiscal year 2025 business improvement grant application yet.
Yeah, okay, I just misunderstood because the question now is for Pranal, because we had something, maybe 5-6 months ago, which was at 400 Southeast Osceola. They were in the middle of doing projects, and they weren't eligible for the business reimbursement. So I just was wondering, when you mentioned that Avalia was still, but you were really talking about they hadn't completed what was from 2025.
Yeah, I was specifically talking about this grant
Okay.
that they
thank you.
applied for.
Is that all your comments?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. That's, I just
Board
wanted to
Member
clarify
Clark?
that.
Okay, so, this is an overall question. I know that we have the burp at the 10,000, and at some point, we hadn't had too many people come in, and then now we have more people coming in. But I seem to remember one time there was a property at the corner of Georgia and East Ocean Boulevard, and I thought that somehow they had received like $30,000 or something. It was quite a few years ago. It could have been like 2016 or 17, but it might have been combined with something else.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not, I know that this program, the max it's ever been has been the 10,000.
Right, I know that,
So
but I'm saying
maybe
that
they
we
did it in conjunction
might
with
have been
other.
combined with something else.
Mhm.
But my issue is if these work out and if we do approve any of these, that, are you hearing from people who are making these applications that they wish that the BURP program had more funds?
I mean, of course, each application would like to have, some additional funding. I mean, we can always revisit that. There are other programs that we've done this before where we've analyzed the whole process of the program and what it entails. But there are other organizations. I even think that the county does like an 80-20 match instead. And that might incentivize some of the smaller businesses that might not be able to reach the 50-50 match to apply.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we can always
That's what, and I
visit
think
that
that,
again.
that's for another day, but I actually like the nature of all these applications, and they're mostly right in the heart of our downtown. The Avonlea is over the bridge, and then in conjunction with what I'm saying, the fact that something like Avonlea, this is their third time now, and so we know that people are making use of it, and they have different stages or different things that are happening, and I think it's a good thing. So that just speaks to the need for having this relationship. And then I wanted to say this, even when you were very first speaking, and it's not in this paperwork, but when you said the words on the record, you said private investment. And I think people need to realize that. The owners, the private property owners, and we're public-private partnerships, and we work hard to get these things and to get this as a part of our way of life, knowing that we're working together on this. And I think it's so important that you did use the word private, and it's a public-private partnership, and we have good partners who've been here before. Like I said, Avonlea, I don't think the Owl House itself has been here before, but I know that their properties, probably same ownership that have, and it has just transformed. It's transformative, the little bit that the CRA does, the $10,000 or whether it's $3,000 for a mural, those things are transformative and they add to our sense of place in the city. And I think it's just a good use, and this is a very well coordinated program. And I just think as we go through and vote on each one of these applications, I don't know if you're going to hear from the applicants, if any of them want to say anything. But I think that I think this is just great to see what this money will be very transformative in our community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other board members have any question? Board Member Giobbe?
Right. And this is actually nothing to do, well, it does have to do with this program, and I've mentioned it before. I'd like to see the CRA do not so much a match, but for smaller businesses that don't have $20,000 and $30,000 to lay out, but they do need to improve a little bit of their property. So maybe we have a small gift program, whatever it wouldn't be a reimbursement, it would be
Grant.
a grant, a $5,000 grant, helping really small businesses to do, minor things that they need to do, and they don't have $20,000 or $30,000 to lay out, waiting for a $10,000 reimbursement. So I don't know how that gets on there. I've talked about it before. I'd like to see the CRA working on something like that for smaller businesses.
Oh, put all this back.
Yeah, we can definitely look at other municipalities, see if they have some similar program to that, and.
I'd appreciate it. I have mentioned
we'll
it
just need to
before.
do some research,
Yeah.
and what does small business consist of, number of employees, like, we need to have some sort of criteria.
Right.
For small businesses, so we'll do some research and come back to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Commissioner.
My suggestion for that, maybe Board Member Giobia's, currently we have it as a matching for it's 50,000 per fiscal year, correct? We have two applicants that are not first-time applicants, so you could always split it maybe and have 25,000 towards matching and 25,000 towards non-matching, or even having it to where you can only apply for this program once.
Wow.
Yeah, we could have some criteria. That would be great. I mean, I think that that's part of what Pinal will be looking into, is what do other municipalities do of our size, and to help this small mom and pop, where there's maybe the only people working there are mom and pop, they're not employing a lot of people, but they still have a business that they'd like to keep going.
I have a question though, Jordan. I know you said Avonlea, they've applied already. Is this the second time then?
Third.
Third time. And did they complete the first one, and just the second one, they're trying to categorize it from 2 fiscal years into 1, but they just haven't been reimbursed from the last one?
Correct. So we created a purchase, like this behind the scenes, but the funds from 2025 are still allocated from 2025 for them. So they have rolled over. So it's not like we're pulling additional funding from this 2026 budget. But yes, correct. They completed the first one.
Okay, and this might go into, because you can have an applicant kind of stack it up for 1 or 2 years, and if you're talking about helping people that don't want to quote-unquote pay to play, you could have it to where it's smaller and it's not matching. But I have a question. This was brought to my attention, and I don't know how it works legally, but when we give applicants money towards parking lots, and I don't know this one in particular, Chuck might know, can they have no parking signs if taxpayers are contributing to fixing their parking lot? Because this happened at a last parking lot that we paid for, and there was someone's car that was towed off that property because they had no parking signs after the city paid to improve their parking lot.
I'll at least speak on that.
Parking lot is still private property, so they
Correct.
have a right to enforce parking. They're trying to run businesses. People are trying to park to visit their businesses or whatnot. Obviously, some of the businesses are exempt from parking in downtown. This is a grant program to encourage small businesses to improve their properties. I don't think it's equivalent to us paying for an entire new parking lot. So I don't think legally you can mandate that they now keep their property open to the public. I mean, they also have insurance and liability matters by having anybody come on. So I also can recognize that even Mr. Gary's place, there's probably a lot of people that just walk through his property.
Probably all the time.
I might have done it myself, sorry, at some time, but, so there's probably other issues to it, but, this is a grant, this is a grant program to give small business owners and property owners an incentive to improve their property. We want their properties to look better in downtown, because better downtown looks more desirable. People want to come down here. So I don't know that you can mandate, it'd be my opinion, you can't mandate by giving a grant that they have to have their parking open to the public. Sure.
Sure.
I assume you're talking about my lot.
Yeah.
Just because
I don't think I've towed I've been there over 40 years, I can remember only one person I ever towed. It was big, they needed to be towed. I have no intention of towing anybody, but like your attorney said, that's private property, and we do have to put that there, sometimes for insurance purposes. And if you do have to tow somebody for a legitimate reason, there's statutes the statute says what you have to do before you tow, and one of them is you have to have a sign. It even has to be a compliant sign. They tell you what the sign has to say. So if you tow somebody and you don't have that sign, now I got a problem. So that's mainly what it's about.
Okay, and the only reason why I mentioned it, Chuck, is I knew you had the signs, but I didn't think you had towed anyone.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that. It was another applicant that did it.
Yeah.
And the city had paid for it.
No.
I did have one more question for staff, though. This was brought to my attention. And this happened in the county with a CRA property where they're now selling it after they improved it. How does that work with our CRA funds? And I'm not saying these applicants are going to do it, but if it's something that should maybe be in the CRA program for future, not for these particular applicants because they've already applied, but I think it should be something that gets addressed.
So something within the agreement that all these applications, once they move forward, will sign within the coming weeks in order to move forward with the improvements is that they're required to maintain the improvement that we funded for up to 3 years. I don't think there's any legal terms that say necessarily sale of property, but I do know it's a requirement to maintain the improvement that we have funded for 3 years.
Would that follow the applicant or the property owner that purchased it then? Would they have to maintain it for 3 years?
I would
I think that would
default to
be
leave, but I
difficult.
would assume.
I think
so.
that would be difficult legally.
Yeah.
This is not something that's recorded on the property.
Okay.
You know,
All right, Board Member D. Berard?
Thank you. This has probably already been addressed, but to stretch an analogy, I don't think there's an expectation that somebody's going to sit in one of the owl house windows after it's been replaced. I mean, the benefit to the public is the aesthetic aspect. And as far as transfer of ownership, if it's improved for everyone's benefit unless they bulldoze it afterwards. So regardless who owns the property, the public is going to enjoy the benefit.
Thanks. Do any other board members have any other comments or questions? Well, we're looking for a motion then, and this is going to be one action item then, unless you want to do it separately, but we agreed on one action item, so.
I don't think we've heard any commentary to the negative, so I'd move for all of them to be passed in group.
All right, was that a motion?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Can we do that, Mary, or we still have to do one at a time? All 5?
No, one at a time.
One at a time. He said all 5.
This would be all, that was what your motion, correct?
We have a pending motion to approve all of the recommended, is there 5
Yes.
total to receive the grant awards under the BERT program?
Resolution number 03-2026 CRA.
Does anyone want to second it?
Second.
So we have a motion to approve resolution number 03-2026 by Board Member D. Berard and seconded by Board Member Giobbe. Are there any public, or Board Member Clark, sorry.
That's okay.
Are there any public comments on this motion? Seeing none, Mary, roll call?
Board Member Clark?
Yes.
Board Member Rich?
Yes.
Board Member D. Berard?
Yes.
Board Member Giobbe?
Yes.
Chair Reed?
Yes. Motion passes unanimously. Action item number 2.
Mr. Mayor, you just failed to recognize me after the public comment section.
Oh, I didn't see your light,
just
sorry.
wanted to say that although modest in scale, this is just a terrific program. This is government working. An expenditure on our part of $40,000 leveraging the expenditure of $115,000 from these private businesses. And that's how it's supposed to work, and we all benefit from it. So thank you, Panal and staff.
Lee, if you could read action item number 2 for the mural matching grant.
Resolution number 01-2026 CRA, a resolution of the Community Redevelopment Agency of the City of Stuart, Florida, authorizing the board chair to execute an agreement between the Stuart Community Redevelopment Agency and Stuart Main Street LLC, who is the applicant for a mural matching grant in the amount of $3,000 to install a mural on the exterior southern, western, and eastern wall of a building located at 221 Southwest Flagler Avenue, providing an effective date and for other purposes.
Is there a presentation for this as well, Jordan?
Yes, there is.
All right.
Good afternoon, CRA board members, Jordan Pinkston, CRA program manager for the record. The CRA received a mural matching grant application proposing a mural on the exterior southern, western, and eastern wall of the Flagler Park restroom building. The application is processed simultaneously with the minor conditional use application, which is approved by Resolution 02-2026 CRB at the CRB meeting on June 2nd, 2026. The objective of the program is to use murals as a catalyst for redefining our area as a destination for arts and culture. The applicants are eligible to receive financial assistance in the form of a 50-50 funds match, not to exceed $3,000 for new mural artwork that is visible from the public right-of-way. Each fiscal year, the CRA budgets $20,000 for the mural matching grant program. Murals that are funded by the program may be placed on public buildings and facilities as well as private properties, limited to non-residential and mixed-use buildings within the CRA. The mural matching grant program was implemented in 2019 and has assisted with the funding of 8 murals throughout the CRA. The murals pictured are on the Gilt Complex, Dehone Building, Old Colorado Inn, Urban Botanicals, Matilda's, and the VA building on MLK. As mentioned, the proposed mural will be installed on the public restroom building located in Flagler Park, 221 Southwest Flagler Avenue, and the artwork will be highly visible to both vehicular traffic and park visitors, as the restroom building is centrally situated within the park, and the mural can be clearly seen from multiple key vantage points, including Flagler Avenue, the basketball courts, playgrounds, pavilions, Hudson Restaurant, and Flagler Center. The proposed mural celebrates the enduring spirit of the historic downtown Stuart through the composition that unites the city's maritime identity, natural abundance, and cultural resilience. At its center, the sailfish lifted from Stuart's logo as a symbol of vitality and strength. The pineapple honors early agricultural roots and perseverance of the pioneer families, while lush tropical flora and the old Florida hues evoke landscape from the Flagler Park. And the osprey is the guardian of the waterfront, which embodies vision and continuity, bringing Stuart's origins and its vibrant presence. Vitalis is derived from the Latin word of life. And then, as you know, public art is an essential component to community revitalization. It strengthens communities, drives tourism, and fosters an environment of creativity and innovation. The total cost of the proposed project is estimated at $18,450. The applicant is requesting a matching grant in the amount of $3,000 for the proposed mural. At this time, staff would like to request a motion to recommend the CRA approve Resolution 01-2026 CRA to award the grant in the amount of $3,000 for the mural. And that ends staff's presentation.
Any questions for staff or the applicant from the board members? Board Member Clark?
I don't think I didn't look for the CRB minutes, but I'd heard before that there was some issue where maybe the CRB had asked about colors or something. And I don't know if it's this particular thing, but I saw the colors on the bathroom for the at the park down there at Flagler Park. Very interesting tone, and I don't seek to change the artist's proposed rendition or anything. And I know that it's something that's eye-catching. I was just wondering about, I'd wanted to have the pineapple to be a brighter gold as a real pineapple, but I can see the scheme that they have here, and it's fine. I'm not going, but I'd heard something, and I didn't go back to look at that minutes, I must admit, but I wasn't sure if it was this project that was talked about, but I really I think that this would be very good to have in the park, and when we have the market there and the students using, well, people, anybody who uses the park for basketball or for anything else, for a stroll or a wedding or something, It, it's gonna be a nice, nice really thing. Now, is this, 3D like the way Brenda Lee, like the one on the beach or some other places, or is it just a flat mural?
It's just the paint. It's not
It's
any
just the
3D.
paint,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, it's just paint. And to reference the topic of the pineapple, there was definitely some discussion of the color choices back and forth. I think that the biggest thing was they wanted to make sure that the sailfish had certain distinct features to indicate that it was a sailfish. So we did bring it back to the CRB.
Oh, so this was it then, because I didn't look at the exact minutes, but I did hear about it.
So we
Okay.
did bring it back before the CRB to indicate, the artist added some blue striping and some, the head changed a little bit. And then as well as Stuart Main Street gave a brief presentation about their RFP process for the artwork itself. So that's why it was brought before the CRB twice.
And we don't know this artist, right? It's not an artist from around here.
She's not a local artist, but they did do a pretty intense call to artists using the Arts Council of Martin County. And so they had a pretty large range of who they reached out to, and they just had to base it on who they thought fit the criteria that they requested within the scope. I also have Candace here from Stuart Main Street who went out for the RFP if you have further questions about that, but the artwork was approved by CRB.
Do you know what the vote was on the CRB?
It was one descendant.
Okay.
So
Mayor, may I chime in real quick?
Yeah.
Just to remind you that the city commission has delegated full authority to the CRB. That's the one action item there, the final vote on is public art. So that's why you're not voting on the artwork itself, just on the grant.
I hear you, I hear you. That's right.
Board Member Rich?
So that is not an accurate representation of the colors that
it
we-
is.
Oh, it is?
It is. This was what was
This is
approved.
after they made the recommended
Correct.
changes.
Correct. There was no changes to the pineapple within the motion of the CRB. The only changes that were requested was of the sailfish, and that Stuart Main Street come back to discuss their RFP process.
Okay.
And to reiterate, Lee, we're just voting on the monetary amount to award
Yes,
this,
yes.
correct?
Correct.
Correct.
Yes,
You're looking at the grant program, whereas the CRB was authorizing the art
The
itself.
artwork.
Correct.
yeah.
Board Member Giobi?
Right, and I understand that. I just would like, for future, I'd like to really try and utilize local artists, not so much just here, but in Martin County, just for the future, that's all.
Any other,
This was a unique program, so it's a public building. Normally, the public, the city, would go out and pick the artist itself and through the RFP process. However, Main Street came to us and said they would like to do something on our building. So they went out for RFP, if that makes sense. So normally, this was done a little differently, not, other organizations and business owners don't come to us, say, hey, I'd like to paint your building. So this was a unique situation that I don't think it's happened, but they have raised money to pay the difference because, so the city's not paying the difference. We're only doing the match up to $3,000, but I think it's an $18,000 project.
Correct.
And so the the Stuart Main Street is covering the difference. And they came to us for authorization to do that on our bathroom, so.
Main Street, can I hear from Main Street even if it's to say hello?
Hi, Candace. You said hello.
For the record, Candace Callahan, Executive Director for Stuart Main Street. I hear you. However, that was not a guideline that was communicated to us. If that's language, that's a staff and city decision. We did send it to RFP. Obviously, we want and hope to have local artists, and there were some that did apply. But let me just go over a little bit of the criteria that we scored them on, because I had a committee. And we didn't just score them on the art, because some of them actually didn't even provide a concept. Yeah, so that kind of makes it difficult. So we scored them on, forgive me, I'm looking at my notes. So understanding the scope of the project, technical approach, experience and expertise, budget and cost efficiency, timeline and reference. So then we scored them on a weighted scale and then tallied the total and then came up with the winner, who was going to get awarded for it. So the artist is very familiar with this area. She travels up here quite a bit with her family because she loves it so much. But she's also responsible for a very large-scale mural. I think it was a 2-story building that she did in Fort Pierce. And she got lots of recognition for that. So I don't know, is that what you're trying to pull up?
I was just pulling up some of my slides from my last.
Oh, yeah, so I think it's the one in the middle on the right side. She did, I think, the peacock themed in the Peacock District of Fort Pierce, so.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I know. So I just wanted to let
She
you know
likes
that
bright
it wasn't
colors.
purposeful that we were trying to not. And had we had been given that direction of, okay, it has to be a Martin County artist, we definitely would have obliged for sure, so. But I appreciate
It
your.
has to definitely be, just that at least they have the option to bid for the
Oh, they
project
did.
like everyone else.
Oh, they did, absolutely. I mean, we had, let's see, we had 12, I think, 12 applicants responded. 699 people clicked on our ads. We had over 23,000 impressions and almost 11,000 in reach. So that's quite a broad net. But again, if given certain directives, we would have scaled that net back a little bit to not have such a reach, if that makes sense.
Well, I mean, it's a beautiful mural that
Yeah,
she's doing.
It's
so,
different. I mean,
it's
part of
fun.
the reason I think she scored high in that area was because of how different it stood out to the other murals that we already have pre-existing. And I knew Matilda's was doing something Stuart themed, so it was kind of hard to know what they were doing and how to give our artist direction. So, yeah, I think it'll be nice. I mean, any improvement, and I've said it before, and I won't harp on it again, but any improvement to that park is a good thing.
Yes.
That park gets a lot of use.
And I think you guys did a great job. It was just for me,
Thanks.
I'd like
No,
to at least
totally.
one little point towards someone who's local or within Martin County.
Oh, yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It was great, and it's great
Great.
looking, and I think that the pineapple should blend in. You wouldn't want it to be the focal point of
Right,
bathrooms.
yeah, I mean, I get it. And the sailfish not being the the blue, but it's an artist's perspectives, and I'm not an artist, so I try not to. But I think we do appreciate the opportunity, so, to improve the downtown.
Thank you, Candace.
Yeah, any other questions, comments?
Any other questions from the board members for staff or Candace? All right, well, we're seeking a motion for approval or denial of this resolution then.
With regard to resolution number 01-2026 CRA resolution, I move approval of the project as submitted and the recommendation of the CRA staff.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion for approval of resolution number 01-2026 by Board Member Clark and seconded by Board Member Giobbe. Are there any public comments on this motion? Seeing none, Mary, roll call?
Chair Reed,
Yes?
Board Member Giobbe,
Yes.
Board Member Rich,
Yes.
Board Member DeBerard,
Yes.
Board Member Clark.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously. Are there any staff updates?
Not at this time.
Board Member Clark?
Sorry, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I forgot to ask Ms. Callahan, and actually, Ms. Pinkston can answer this. These would be implemented at least by October or November of this year, the time frame.
So last Candace and I spoke, and she can correct me if I'm wrong, she's hoping to do this within the next 6 months. The
6
mural will
months,
begin.
within
in-
6 months.
yeah,
We also have
production.
other grants that are, that we, applications and deadlines that we have to try to meet, but obviously, we have been a little delayed with this, so our artist now has other projects, so it's kind of, now I'm gonna be reaching out to her tomorrow to kind of get a feel for what her schedule allows, and unfortunately, we're in the warmer part of the year right now, but she's pretty optimistic that I think she said 3 weeks from start to finish, if that. If there's no storms or anything that's impending that, or for other construction, who knows, but that's, yeah, she works pretty fast.
And we're correlating with city staff and Milton's team as well to get that pressure washed and
Prepped for her, yeah.
and prepped, so everything looks great, because it is only a 3-sided mural, so that restroom where the doors are, our team is going to make sure that looks fresh and new as well, so it
Thank you,
looks
Mr. Mayor. May I ask a question?
Ask
This
away.
is a question maybe for Mr. Leggett, I'm not, I think it's his area, or it could be Mr.
It's
Krolsky.
Candace.
Now, well, kind of. So the bathroom is there, and I know we fixed up the area, and it's not as low-lying anymore. But is there a concrete lip around that building, along the wall? When she said prep, I just thought about it. Do we have a concrete lip around that building?
Sidewalk?
Yeah, just some buildings now have,
Oh, hold on.
It's like
I
a
can
little
pull it
thing.
up.
Would that
Give
be
me
a
one
trip
second.
hazard
There it
going
is.
into the bathroom?
have it.
no, it's around it, it's
So
a,
this is Commissioner Clark.
yeah,
the
so like where the
building.
grass is, sometimes people put a little concrete, so the grass doesn't come right up to the building.
No, there's a footer, Public Works Director, there's a footer around the building, but we can put a border or something around it if needed.
But you understand what I'm talking about, though.
I think she's.
Some
stating-
people do it like even at
You're talking like
home.
a landscape border?
Yeah, it's just like about 2 feet of concrete away, yeah, and that matches up to the wall, so the grass doesn't go right up to the wall.
That's a lot, 2 feet.
Yeah, that
Just
is
so you
right.
know,
What is your
we-
goal? Are you
Is it
looking
a-
to
you
stop
want
the
a
grass from going
sidewalk,
on the
or-
building? What's
I
the
just know
goal?
that there's flooding sometimes. What do you-
Not
It's been
typically-
taken care of now.
Yeah,
Flooding has been taken care of.
in that section, yes, ma'am. Thank you, Milton, and your team. Grass does bump up against the building, but we have plans to work with Milton and his team to get that grass as low as possible, obviously, so she can paint appropriately and fill those gaps. But,
Trench it.
yeah. Well, hopefully not. Don't say that. He'll be mad at me. But we also have applied for a few grants that are pretty large grants to help further some improvements, not just the mural, but other improvements. So maybe if it doesn't meet what you're looking for after the project's done, hopefully maybe we can include some of those vision ideas into the application itself. Because we can include landscaping. I included a sunshade for this, the playground, upgraded playground equipment, all kinds of different things. So I can always circle back on that.
Okay.
He's
and-
excited.
Yes. And another question, Mr. Mayor?
Yep.
So in light of the brightness of that proposed mural that's going to be on that site and the actual dimensions of that entire Flagler Park, we had Mr. McCarron who did the arts moment the last time, and he mentioned, the letters Stuart somewhere in the park. But that's another story, but I just wanted to say that maybe if there's a potential that, if that's something that would have to be done through the city or city budget, or if it could go through CRA, if the city ever agreed to have the large lettering that says Stewart.
Yeah, so I know at one point, we had a local sign company that wanted to donate the I Love Stuart, signage that you stand in front of for like photo ops and everything. That didn't end up going through and working out. Of course, there is always opportunity if we want to revisit that. If that's something you want to discuss for the CRA, or we could do like a call to artist or Stuart Main Street. We can discuss that, but I do know what you're talking about, and that is no longer on the table to my knowledge at this time.
Thank you. And Mr. Mayor, one more thing while Ms. Callahan is up. When are we going to get the results of your survey?
I was hoping you would ask that. I was going to kind of talk about it at the commission meeting, but I can get that out of the way now. So the City Hall survey is what you're referring to. We've compiled the data, but I was going to ask staff if I should put that as an agenda item to come back and give a presentation on that, because we want to talk about next steps.
yeah,
Like,
with city
here's all this
manager.
information, now what? And we want to make those recommendations as to what we think the next phase of that conversation should be. So,
Thank you.
sorry, if that's okay.
Thank you, Candace.
You're
Thank
welcome,
you
ma'am.
for all that you do.
Oh, no, yes.
Thank you, Ms. Pinkston.
Are there any other discussions from the board members tonight? Seeing none, I'm going to adjourn the meeting, and we'll reconvene at 5:30 for the regular city commission meeting. Thanks.
Thank you.